This is a new addition to the podcast room, and we should be using it right now, but Calvin forgot the plug at home. When we are filming in here, so we don't get distractions, we turn on the sign, it's lit up, no one bothers us.
You're annoying.
All I'm saying is that you forgot the cord, and I'm upset.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm upset.
Don't be upset.
We are about to shoot a podcast episode, and if you don't know, there is a podcast channel. It's linked down below. Go subscribe to it if you're not already. I saw some comments about, Tej, you never do FTBs anymore. Boys, trust me, I'm keeping up with the FTBs. They may not be on social media and on the videos, but trust me, there is no lack of FTBs ever going down at any time. We're gonna film an episode right now. It usually takes us about 30 to 45 minutes. That's how much conversation we have during the podcast. I'm not gonna show that on here, but if you're interested, I don't have to tell you twice. It's down below in the description. My tires for the RX-7 should be coming in any day now, but before we do that, I need to do a couple things on this car that we need to tidy up. One of those things being I need to put new fuel in the car. I'll be put E85 and the premix in that, and out of my own ignorance and not doing this ever, I didn't know that the premix that I got does not mix with the E85. We need to drain the fuel tank again of all the E85. I just went to the gas station and picked up a tank of 91. And I need to put that premix in the 91, and then we gotta fill the RX-7 up. So the first thing we are going to do today is take off this diffuser, drain the fuel tank. I also got this new gauge for the car. It is from Haltech. I'm running a Haltech ECU on the RX-7, and what's really neat about this is this shows 7 different gauges on a 1 digital display. I was gonna do about 4 to 5 different gauges of everything that I wanted on this car, but then I saw that Haltech had this gauge, and this gauge will do boost pressure, AFR, coolant temp, fuel pressure, and ethanol content. So that's 4 gauges into 1. I actually bought a gauge pod for the car that was supposed to hold 4 gauges, but now I'm only switching to 1, and from what I found online, there's not that many singular gauge pods for an RX-7. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get this fully installed today and looking nice, or maybe I might install this into my 4 gauge pod thing that I had and fill it with other ones. You could always find an excuse to have more gauges to make sure you know everything that's going on with their car. But before the RX-7 hits the road, I definitely need this gauge to make sure that everything is running smoothly, and so we can catch anything early if anything bad happens. Here we go. Old fuel gonna piss out. It's gonna be a lot. Oh god, it's all over me. It's all in my hand.
Come on, man.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Hurry up, man.
Oh, it's so cold,
dude.
It is so cold on my hand right now. Oh, just a good piss. We're gonna let this drain all the way and then fill it up with some new fuel with the premix included. So this premix ratio is 1 ounce to 1 gallon. So I'm gonna be filling the car up with maybe just a little under 6 gallons. The fill on's right about here, and this is about our 5. So I'm gonna put in roughly about maybe 5.5 ounces of this premix.
Panic mode.
What?
I need the bolt.
Why?
I need the bolt.
Dude, there's so much more time before that bucket is full.
Give me it's cut.
Nah, Mickey's cleaning the other bucket.
Look how dirty that bucket is.
Mick, you got time, brother.
Give me the bolt.
No, I like living life on the edge. And here we go. All right, that's probably good. We replaced the gas and we replaced the diffuser. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is let's lower the car, Calvino, and we're gonna turn the car on while plugging in our gauge, and let's just see what happens. I'm pretty sure it should just fire up. There is this spare orange wire, but from what I've read in this manual, we may not need that, but we'll find out. Let's fire it up and see what happens. I've dug into where I have all my relays and ECU hidden, and I believe where this wire is going right here, that's where it's supposed to plug in. So I'm gonna turn the car on. If we're getting power to this, and it's probably in the right spot, and then we'll see if we can get any sort of readings from this ECU. Ooh. All right, so after diving deeper into the manual, it says right here that once it's plugged in and you know you have power, you need to go into the ECU on a computer program, and you need to ensure, that's what it's called, ensure the dash support, apply the settings, and reboot the ECU. I don't have the Haltech program on any computer, but we do know it works, and it should be reading just fine. So until we figure out what computer we can use, do you just unplug it? You charge. And here is the gauge pod that I have. So this originally had 4 on it, but it's actually modular, which I didn't realize. Calvin was just diving into it and looking at it. So for now, this is what I'm gonna use, is one little peepee at the top, because it will hold everything that I need to see right there. Nice. So that's pretty good for now. So until we get the computer hooked up to the ECU and apply the settings, which I'm sure I know someone with it, we're gonna install that right now and get this hardwired. Should be pretty simple. We're just gonna run the 5-foot cable through this little top where our gauge pod's gonna be and run it down to the ECU. The only tough part is gonna be trying to cover the ECU with the kick panel and everything and make it look flush. Threaded. We put it through the top of this vent, and Calvin got a welding wire, and I started threading down the cord, and we made a hook out of the welding wire, and then we were able to secure it and pull it all the way through.
Why didn't you film it, Teach?
I wasn't filming it. I should have been filming it. My concentration was on the wire.
Every time I'm spread, you gotta...
Before you do that, make sure it's center.
It is.
Give me a little...
I did.
It doesn't look center. All right, it's
you
center.
Fucking asshole.
It's center, it's center. Tuck down the orange wire. Oh, we need to put the clips in. I have them right here. Uh-oh. Ooh. Next thing we need to do is put the cage on this bad boy, because we finally found one. Shout out to Mickey. I think it was Mickey.
Dude.
There's pretty much like a contraption little puzzle piece that makes sure that this nab doesn't fly around, and they're called like cages. I must have lost mine when I got my car, or I'm not even sure what happened to mine, but I think this is Mickey's old one. He's not using it anymore. So now when this thing gets shoved back in, it's gonna clip to the back of this plastic, and it pretty much is gonna make it not fly around, not be loose. It's a really small piece that doesn't make any visual difference, but actually having this car be functional and work, that was a big piece I was kind of stressing about.
Oh, that was a bit easier than I
don't know why you thought that was gonna be hard.
Because I took it apart and I knew how much this general vicinity was just like, you know what I'm saying?
Lagoon. Le blue.
Lagoon.
Le blue lagoon.
Lagoon.
Le blue lagoon. SpongeBob wakes up from a nice morning and goes down to the blue lagoon.
Goo lagoon. A stinky mud puddle to you and me.
You gotta be careful not to
Make sure not to destroy all of these wires as we put it in. Ooh, look at all my electronics working. Super big progress. Very excited with that. I'm gonna let this car run for a little bit and get this 91 to mix. Get this premix in there. So one thing that I'm really curious about, because we just switched to 91, is when we were in New Zealand, we were on the dyno, when this car's on D-cell, it like, for whatever reason, just likes to hold a fat flame, like a flamethrower. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna turn this car, get it up to temperature, and because this is like its first time in the States being on 91 and running it, I kinda wanna see when the car is up to temperature, I kinda wanna see if I rev it, if it will just hold the flame without even driving, without doing two-step. A lot of people do two-step and do like the cheater method of like putting like a hot ignition somewhere down the exhaust to cause the actual like exhaust fumes to catch fire, and I kind of want to try it just naturally, just like revving it on its own to see if it will catch. So this isn't like doing like a big like two-step bang, but it's pretty much just like revving it and to see if it will ignite itself. I don't know if it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, you guys get some free RX-7 audio, but if it does happen, that'd be rad. So what's crazy to think about is the sound you're hearing right now is the sound you would hear if you pulled up to this at a stoplight. Like, this is casual idle. And all the white smoke, just to add one more time, that's from the premix. That's the oil burning through the premix, so the white smoke isn't a bad thing. If a normal car was idling like this, it'd be a very, very different story, but the white smoke is from the premix, so don't get confused. Don't think that's because the car is gonna explode or something. That thing chugs white smoke. god, I'm so tired. In yesterday's video, I said that I was going to speak at a high school this morning, but I wasn't able to film. But I said that if you were interested, I would kind of go over some of the things that we talked about, or that I talked about while I was there, and they had me in there to kind of explain my story and explain my journey in getting to where I am today without knowing how I'm gonna do it and without like money to make it happen, and to share that experience with everyone. And one of the most valuable things that I think I shared today, which is what I wanted to share with you guys before I end the vlog. Can I help you?
I called your name 4 times, you didn't answer. You got abducted. No!
One of the main things that
Are you coming back after?
You guys really ordered pancakes?
For you.
One of the main things that I talked about today that I thought was very valuable, that I think is the biggest piece of information that everyone like lacks, is figuring out what it is that you love to do and figuring out what your passion is. Because once you have that figured out, like, it's extremely easy to become successful at something, because oftentimes it's like all you want to do. And I hope you guys don't mind, I'm literally doing this from my bed right now because I'm literally about to go to sleep. But I didn't want to forget this part of the vlog, and I wanted to keep you guys up on it, and I wanted to follow through for those who were curious about it. The hard part is finding what you want to do, or finding something you're passionate about. And I always like to say, and you've heard me say this countless and countless times on this vlog, for every one thing that you found you like doing, odds are you've done 100 things that you realized you don't like doing to find that one thing. And I really mean that in its truest form. Before I started YouTube, when I was trying to find something new, a new hobby, and without getting too deep into it as to why I was doing that, I was trying to find a new hobby, trying to find something I could distract myself with. And I picked up, like, I tried painting, I tried like endurance running, I tried picking up a new instrument, I tried certain video games, like I did a million different things. And eventually I found like filming in cars and kind of like found my mesh. But everything that I tried something new every week or multiple times a week. And I eventually found something that I love to do. Once I found that, doing that all the time and getting better at it came natural to me, and that's like the secret. But it's hard to do, don't get it wrong. But I wish I could have shared that experience, that talk with you guys today, but unfortunately I wasn't able to film on campus. That's very understandable. Anyways, I'm gonna end this vlog here. The rotary in today's video made me happy, and I hope it put a smile on your face. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Peace out, and keep moving forward.
And I'm feeling